really, I gave a deadline. If I don't hear anything by tomorrow, then I have no choice but to come forward and give my final summation on the whole thing, and also offer all of the people who wanted to come and confront you on the Jaguar Wright show an opportunity to give their side of their relationship with you, because at this point in time, you had a real story. You said you wanted to come forward, but then you you have a fight with your lesbian lover who you said is abusive and makes you go down on her while she still smells like urine, even though she just got out the shower. Abuse and manipulation, control, pushed you, accosted you, harassed you, took all of your stuff, threw it in trash bags, and threw you out in the street in the middle of the night while you was drunk. You were driving. You had to pull over, and you needed someone to come help you. And our platform did. Made sure you didn't have to drive around drunk. Took you back to the studio where it was safe. You had a bed. You had your own bathroom. You were provided with hygienes. I'm a chef. I cooked 2 meals for you while I was in your presence. The best one, you were too guilty to eat. And without too much extra trauma, you called her and asked her to help you negotiate your way back into a volatile situation, which, by the way, when you left, you keyed up that woman's car down to the primer. You was in such a rush to get away, you left your phone, your main phone, the phone you never. Right? Then all of a sudden, your social media starts being managed from something other than that phone, and then you had just paid the bill, but the phone got disconnected. And if I didn't love God as much as I did, I would tell everybody what I found in that phone. That were made in that phone, the threats, the harassment, all of it. And then you disappear. And you don't speak to nobody. You don't return no phone calls. We were calling the phone, but then we realized the phone was still there. And then when we called the other number, it was very strange. And you send weird texts, not the way you speak, the way Amber speaks, but not the way you speak.
Yeah.
You just want to go back to a private life, and you don't want to do the public thing. You want to step out of the public eye, but you just did an interview with the Instagrammer on Monday. Y'all are intelligent gentlemen. What does that sound like to you?
Forethought. Forethought.
Because if you were running away from that situation that was so bad, you had to call the police. You was afraid. You so mad. You killed the chick car. Why would you want to go back? 2 days later, why would you want to go back? Would have just let you sleep in your Jeep like you do every other time that woman is throwing you out. If this was just a lover's quarrel and going back and forth, why did we need to come and get you in the middle of the night? Why did you need to be rescued? Why did you need a place to stay? Why? You could have just slept it out until you drunk off whatever you was drinking, and you could have just went right back. What does it sound like to y'all?
Hey, gang.
It sounds like it's somebody creating an emergency or some kind of great catastrophe so that they would have the ability to be in my private spaces. That's what it sounds like to me.
I went on Jack's show to share that the first time. It was a different Jaguar. She was seemed. I didn't do my research on her, so she seemed like a regular person. As I was sharing my story, she has a comeback with every situation I shared with her. And then part 2, it was a little different. It was a little strange, so I wasn't comfortable sharing anything else further with her because it felt like I was being mocked. You know, if it didn't feel genuine. So when it was time for part 3, I was invited to a studio. So I thought to take part 3. So I'm all ready and, you know, getting ready to tape, drove over there, and it was not a studio. It was a filthy condo with no furniture, just one purple chair. House smelled like cigarette and weed, grease pots and wine bottles and liquor bottles emptied everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not staying here for this. I left out of there so fast. I left my phone, my second phone, and some family members of mine they were blowing my phone up saying, Jack just got on live. Well, let me back it up. When I left her house for part 3, I didn't want to tape. I was done. Her personalities changed. I didn't know who I was talking to, a kid, a white lady, a man. It just didn't make sense. So I left. And Odell texted me the next morning, and her so-called therapist, Lisa. And Lisa told me, if you don't tape, Jaguar is going to pull part 1 and part 2. I said, I welcome it, pull it, because I don't want to deal with this lady anymore. She was coming on to me. Her personalities changed. And when I first got to the fake studio, she was lying to whoever the live she was on, that she was in the hospital, and she was never in the hospital. I'm looking dead at her. So automatically I'm looking at her like, wow, people really look up to you and thinking you're really giving good information on people, and you're lying. You're a liar. So that turned me off. So when I left, Lisa called me early the next morning. I told her I don't want to do it. I even had the text messages to prove it. I kept everything. And then I told her I will respectfully decline. And then an hour later, Odell said, are you coming to tape? I told him the same exact thing. He read it, but didn't reply. I still have that message as well. I got ready to go to an event for my journal I just put out for healing and growth. And after that, I get alerts and DMs that I've been kidnapped. I guess Jack said I was kidnapped by my partner, and we were fighting, and I got beat up, and I was homeless, and just a bunch of other stuff, which was all fake. It was like she was a white lady one minute, then she was singing the next minute, then she turned into a little baby the next minute. And I said, you know what, this lady has a mental problem. Okay. I was always taught from my grandmother, not my parents, because, you know, my mom never liked me and my dad was an abusive cop. So I really didn't confide in either one of them. But my partner, we're not fighting. We are well. She has her businesses going. I have mine. We have properties. So Jaguar is a piece of shit liar. And I don't even like to curse, but I'm sorry. I just have to say that. It upset me because when I was at the event, right? And and shout out to Danny for letting it be known that I was not kidnapped. She was putting on, what is it? On her Instagram, that's not Tammy texting. She doesn't talk like that. Like it was a different voice. And I said, it is me. And I'm sorry. Thank you for allowing me to be on your platform, but I don't want to proceed. I don't want to do anything else with you, but thank you. She kept talking about it. I ignored it as long as I could. I mean, every chance she got, she bringing up my name and whatever she wanted to expose in my phone. There was nothing in the phone. That's why I was laughing like she's really retarded. So when I saw Stone Paxton, actually, I did a podcast with a group of ladies, and she said, tune into this guy. So when I tuned in, the energy was so warm. I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave a comment, and I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna just go ahead and tell what I went through, because this lady, I mean, my children was hearing all these lies, and everybody know it's fake. So I'm like, well, how do I protect myself? Because I'm not a YouTuber. So I just kept trying to ignore it. But Jaguar, she's a liar. I went to a condo in Sylmar, California. It was dirty. It was probably the nastiest place I've ever been to. Disgusting. I can't believe if she acts like that with a big ego and lives like that, she needs to just be quiet.
I'm in the hospital. I just came into my bathroom.
Which hospital
so
you at?
sorry that this is happening.
What hospital you
Saying
at?
this,
Stop it, do not.
not Odell.
I understand.
I don't need anybody to referee any kind of panel for me.
that though?
Matter of fact, let's just get down to what respect looks like.